What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Now today we are in the 2020 Volkswagen Passat. So the great thing is you can use the key, so unlock the car, hold the boot button, opens up. But yeah, overall it's quite a good boot size. Hasn't got an automatic button here, we've just got a little handle here. Pull it down, or another good way of opening it is you can also open it with the badge. So we've got cruise control on the side, volume for the entertainment part, and then we've got voice activation and the control panel for this screen up here. It is manual, 6-speed, which I'm happy with. If we just turn on the power by just pressing the stop button, turns it all on. Turn down that. So we haven't got nav on this, but we've got the nice 5.5-inch screen here that has the radio set up. If you go to media, you can put your phone on there, press menu, gives you all the various app connections, CarPlay, auto hold, so it holds you on a hill, electronic parking brake, parking sensor button if you want to turn it off, start stop button if you want to turn it off in traffic. It's got some drinks holders and a 12-volt battery. And it's also got a USB-C charger in and underneath, which is always nice. Lockable doors. If I show you the seats, I'm quite impressed with these. So it's got part manual, part automatic. So this adjusts the backrest, as you see. This part's manual, so you pull the seat forward and backwards, and this adjusts your seat height. And then it's also got the 17-inch on the back, 215s on the back, so they're both riding the same height. If you have a look, I think it looks good from a distance, but in my opinion, you've got the xenon lights. I think that if they had this layer, less chrome, because if you look, it lines up with the lights, so if that line there lines up with the light, I think it looks really good. If they got rid of that, I think it's just a little bit too much chrome for me on the front here. Looks good altogether though, in this Alpine white. Hi guys, welcome inside the 2-litre diesel Volkswagen Passat 2020. Now, this car does change from the normal cars I normally drive, which are automatic. And also I'm not normally driving in the pissing rain, so you probably hear that rain noise coming down. But all of yesterday I was driving this car in the dry, over 8 seconds to 60. It felt like the car was really responsive. It's got a nice light clutch. There's not too many faults, I would say, with it. It puts the power down rather well for just the 137 horsepower it's got, because it's got such a high torque value. It has a little bit of a turbo lag, but once the turbo kicks in, it does feel decent. I'm trying to give a honest opinion of the car. I guess this is a realistic view in the UK. Get a bit of rain, see how it reacts, give it a bit of power. Does it slip? No, it's pretty good actually, to be honest. Accelerates well. As you accelerate, front wheel drive, I think that probably helps a lot when in this condition, because it doesn't squirm all over the place because the power's coming from the rear, the power's coming from the front, and also the engine's in the front, so you've got a lot of weight over those front wheels. But the car lifts up, so you might lose a little bit of traction, but moving forwards in the rain isn't a bigger deal as you would think. I wanted to show you, like, it's an automatic starting system, so put your foot down on the clutch, as done, to get the car started. Turn that volume down, and to release the handbrake, if you didn't know this, the electronic handbrake, you actually have to put your foot on the brake, but you have to put your foot on the brake. So if I don't take my foot off the brake, my feet are up here, the electronic handbrake doesn't do anything, so foot on the brake now, it releases. So that's a little top tip. It's a 2-litre front wheel drive, and it's got 137 horsepower, 240 pound-feet of torque, and it produces a 0 to 60 time of just under 8.5 seconds to 60. Feels a lot quicker. I think because you're one with the car, it's a 6-speed manual and it's a turbo diesel. I think that feels the torque aspect makes it feel a lot faster. And actually, I was really super impressed yesterday when I was in the car. I was going through all the onboard computer. I just tripped over 1 bar of fuel on the gauge, which I'll show you. And going through the computer does do over 60 miles to the gallon. On paper it says between 55 and 60. It's actually overachieving that, and it can produce over 850 miles in the tank. I don't know if it can actually physically achieve that, because, well, I'm just over a bar down, which I find is incredible really. It's a 66 litre tank, so it's not an enormous tank in this. It's not going to cost you a fortune. Well, fuel in the UK, it's going to cost you probably about 90 quid to fill it up. Hanging back yesterday, I was giving it full rev range and I was achieving still 60 to the gallon. I thought I was well impressed. Normally in a Volkswagen, for me, and the cars that I've driven that are Volkswagen, they normally seem to be, if not petrol guzzlers, for that matter. My friend had a diesel Touareg. His one actually was 3 litre V6, but because of the weight of it, it was almost 3 tons. It did drain fuel quite a lot. It was meant to be quite fuel efficient, but it's a bit of a boring car, but it's the same as any VW setup. Looking at it internally, it looks like a Polo or a Golf. But this obviously hasn't got the R line on it. It's a few years old now, so another Pro you can get it for around the 20 grand mark, depending on the colour, the spec, the miles, etc. I generally look on Auto Trader. That's the best place for me to look. Just to give it a rough good indication, this is a couple of years old. It's done 20,000 miles. Grips well on the wet. Let's see. Yeah, very good. Look at that. Oh, a little bit of traction kicked in there, but in the rain you're going to expect that for a front-wheel driven 25, 27 grand car. It's not a track car by any means. It's a VW Passat. Now, you ask, why would you buy one of these cars? Well, they're affordable, they're a good drive, and they're quite good as an everyday car. It's got the 4 doors, it's got an enormous boot, and quite frankly, you're buying it second-hand for around the 25 grand mark. Hi guys, thanks for watching another great episode with Car Talks. Now, if you haven't already, please don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. I hope you enjoyed the ride, and I'll see you next time.